Maritime Attorney Nyree Alfonso is estimating that the Galleons Passage vessel will take over 6 hours to get to Tobago from Trinidad. Ms. Alfonso was speaking today during a press conference hosted by the former Minister of Transport, Devant Maharaj. She said the vessel was not built to sail in Trinidad and Tobago's waters. Mahalia Joseph Wharton has more.
I think the vessel would have been a good vessel to work where it was designed to work.
According to Maritime Attorney Nyree Alfonso, the maximum speed of the Galleons Passage is 22 to 23 knots, but she said reports on the sea trial indicate that the vessel cannot make those speeds.
The Lord knows when you put cars and people on it, it has to be slower, right? So let's say my estimate is 16 odd knots. 16, possibly 17 knots she can do. You are speaking of a journey of 6 hours or thereabouts, right? Okay. So you, according to many of my clients, or you could go on a plane and get to New York. Anytime it will take you.
When asked if she had an axe to grind, this was her response.
I have a passion about maritime work. I have a grave passion. And when I see these things being trotted out, these false narratives being trotted out, this boat being offered up for a route which I don't think she's suitable for, that impacts me.
Former General Manager of the Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, Charmaine Lewis, said the correct procurement process was not used to acquire the Galleons Passage. She explained that there are 3 different types of procurement based on the Port Authority's policies: sole select, selective and open.
So the process whereby a ministerial team would have been appointed to go and find a vessel is really new and strange, and it does not conform to any of the existing processes or policies that the Port Authority has used in the past. It is unprecedented, actually.
Ms. Lewis said the tenets of good procurement are transparency, value for money and accountability.
If you want to benchmark that against the process that has been used, well, I am sure you will draw the right conclusion. There was no expert in marine. If you are doing something like that, you would carry somebody of the caliber of a chief engineer who is familiar with the running of a vessel and the operations of a vessel, because in the past the port would carry a chief engineer.
Just last week, the National Infrastructure Development Company Chairman Herbert George said they had concerns about inaccuracies in the gap analysis. NIDCO has since written to Lloyd's asking that they conduct a survey of the vessel, now docked in Port of Spain, to be able to rectify the analysis by this week. Mahalia Joseph Wharton, C News.
A repulsive campaign of fake news, mischief and public misinformation. That's how Transport Minister Rohan Sinanan is describing the latest criticisms from the opposition regarding government's acquisition of the Galleons Passage.
Pressfully sent out on Sunday afternoon, Minister Sinanan said he was not surprised by the attendance of Attorney at Law Nyree Alfonso or former General Manager of the Port Authority Charmaine Lewis at an opposition press conference held earlier that day. As it relates to Ms. Alfonso, Mr. Sinanan said the public must be reminded that the Attorney at Law was, in the past, hired by the Port Authority to assist in terminating a contract for the Warrior Spirit. Subsequently, despite having experience in ship brokering, she offered her service to locate another cargo ferry. The Transport Minister said Ms. Alfonso's law firm N.D. Alfonso and Company was then invited to tender for the vessel and was awarded a contract for the superfast Galicia. Concerning Ms. Lewis, Minister Sinanan said before being fired from her post as the Port Authority's General Manager, she requested directly from her line minister a 5-year contract for the superfast Galicia without consulting the board or fulfilling any procurement process. Minister Sinanan said that the government will not be deterred by the antics of the UNC and said he's confident the majority of the population will see through their attempts to misguide and mislead. The government will hold a press conference on the matter on Monday morning, where Minister Sinanan said they will respond further to the accusations made. Janine Brown, C News.